So now we want to look at equations. And I have a definition up there I took directly from Google, but I think it does a good job of explaining what exactly an equation is. The key word here is equal sign. So we're showing the relationship between two sets of expressions. And the most simple equation I think any of you can conceive is something like that. 1 plus 2 is equal to 3. Let me just... No. For me, when solving equations, there's only one basic rule. And the rule says, whatever is done to one side of the equation, the same has to be done to the other side. I'm sure you all agree that 1 plus 2 is equal to 3. So let me just emphasize what I just said about whatever being done to one side, the same must be done to the other side. Let's say, for example, let's say, for example, I should add, say, 6 to both sides. 6 to the right-hand side. It means for the equation to remain true, I would also need to add 6 to the left-hand side. And now we have the left-hand side being equal to 9, and the right-hand side being also equal to 9. And again the same, let's say I should subtract a value from the right-hand side. Let's say we subtract 5 from the right-hand side. Then you would also need to subtract 5 from the other side for the equation to remain true. Good? Now if you'll notice we have what? 1 plus 2 plus 6, that's 9. 9 minus 5 is what? 4. And the same holds true for the other side. 1 plus 2, let me just... So this side 1 plus 2 plus 6 minus 5, let me just put it like that. On the right hand side we have 3 plus 6 minus 5. So in other words, the overall value on each side remains the same. So if I should add a value to the right hand side, I will have to do the same thing to the other side for us to maintain a balance, or for the equation to remain true. Same for multiplication. Let's say I should multiply one of the side by a value. Let's say I should multiply the left hand side by any number. Let's say 2. Let me multiply this side by 2 first. And to multiply by 2, by the way, we need to multiply each and every single term. So if I multiply 2 to the right hand side, it's 2 times each term. So 2 times this value, 3, we get 6. And 2 times 6, we get 12. And 2 times minus 5, that's minus 10. Notice what we have here. 6 plus 12, that's what? 18. 18 take away 10, that's what? 8. And I also need to multiply the left hand side by 2 also. So 2 times 1, each term, 2 times 1, that's 2. 2 times 2, that's 4. 2 times 6, that's 12. And 2 times minus 5, that's 10. Let's calculate what the left hand side is. So 2 plus 4, that's 6. 6 and 12, that's 18. 18 take away 10, the same 8. Good. And the same holds for division. So say we have an equation like this: 6 plus 10. What is 6 plus 10 equal to? 16. Same holds for division. Let's say I want to divide one side by 2, and the right hand side by 2, or any value for that matter. But let's use 2. It means that we'd have to divide each term on both sides. So 16 divided by 2 is 8. And because I divide the left hand side by 2, the right hand side by 2, I also need to divide the other side, the left hand side by 2. And that means dividing each term by 2. So 6 divided by 2, what's that? It's 3, yes. And 10 divided by 2, that's 5. Can you imagine if I divide this 10 by 2 and I did not divide the 6 by 2? We run into problems, and we'll have what we call a false equation, which would not make any sense at all. Alright? So for the equation to remain true and balanced, one simple rule holds. Whatever is done to one side, the same has to be done to the other side. And if I should add 1 to this side, I would also need to add 1 to this side. And if I take away whatever value, if I take away 7 from this side, I'll need to also take away 7 from this side for the equation to remain true. And you'll notice this is what? 9 minus 7, which is 2. This is what? The same 9 minus 7, which is also 2. Right? So, very important. The one basic rule that governs the equation is whatever is done to one side of the equation, then the same has to be done to the other side of the equation. In the next video, we'll be looking at solving some equations. And we'll begin from the simplest of the simplest to equations which are more complex in nature. See you in the next video.